Welcome to Fluent Wave Podcast. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something that every beginner English learner struggles with: grammar. I know. Just hearing the word grammar can make people panic. But here's the good news. Today, we're going to make it fun, simple, and easy to remember.
Hey everyone, I'm Maya. Grammar can feel overwhelming, especially when you're just starting out. But trust me, with the right tips, tricks, and a little practice, you can start speaking English more confidently and naturally. And the best part? We'll give you tricks that you can start using today, no matter your level.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question, Maya. Have you ever been in a conversation and suddenly froze because you weren't sure which tense to use?
Oh, absolutely. I've been there many times, especially when talking about what I'm doing right now versus my daily routines. It's confusing at first, but once you have a few simple rules in mind, it becomes much easier.
That's right. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We'll give you small, practical grammar tricks that make a big difference in how fluent you sound. Think of it like shortcuts to English mastery tricks that help you speak correctly without overthinking.
And here's the thing, grammar doesn't have to be boring. You don't need long, complicated rules written in textbooks. Instead, we'll use real-life examples, mini exercises, and a few stories to help the rules stick in your memory.
Exactly. Let's start with a simple example that confuses almost every beginner. Tenses. Imagine this. You're talking about what you're doing right now. Do you say, "I read a book," or "I am reading a book"? Many learners get stuck here.
Yes, and the good news is, there's a trick to figure it out quickly. If the action is happening right now, you use the present continuous. I am reading a book. But if it's something you do regularly, like a habit, you use the simple present. I read every morning.
Exactly. And here's a quick tip. Look for time words. Words like now or currently usually mean present continuous. Words like every day, usually, or always usually mean simple present.
Let's make it interactive. Repeat after me. I am learning English right now. Pause. Now say, I learn English every day. Did you feel the difference? That subtle shift changes how natural your English sounds.
Perfect example. And here's a mini story to help remember it. Imagine my friend wakes up every day at 6 a.m. to jog. That's a habit, so simple present. She jogs every morning. But right now, if she's jogging in the park while we speak, that's present continuous. She is jogging in the park.
See how stories and images help? You can even visualize the action that makes it stick in your brain.
Exactly. And that's one of the best beginner grammar tricks. Always connect rules to real-life situations. It's easier to remember, and it makes your English sound natural instead of robotic.
And here's something important. Don't stress about making mistakes. Grammar is all about practice. Every time you speak, write, or even think in English, you're improving. These tricks are just tools to guide you.
Right, and another tip. Start noticing English in your daily life. Listen to conversations, watch shows, or read simple texts. When you hear a sentence, ask yourself, is this simple present or present continuous? Why did they use that tense? This kind of mini analysis trains your brain naturally.
Exactly. And little things like this will make grammar feel less like a rulebook and more like a natural part of how you communicate.
Before we move on to specific grammar tricks, let's do a quick recap of what we covered so far. Grammar doesn't have to be scary. Focus on real-life usage, small, practical tricks, and consistent practice. And always remember to connect the rule to something you can visualize.
And most importantly, enjoy the learning process. English is a skill, not a test. The more you interact with it naturally, the faster you improve.
Exactly. All right, now that we've warmed up and set the stage, let's dive into the first beginner grammar trick that really helps people start speaking confidently.
All right, let's talk about one of the biggest grammar problems for beginners' tenses. If you've ever stopped mid-sentence thinking, which tense should I use now? Trust me, you're not alone. This confusion is very common, and today we're going to clear it step by step.
Yes, tenses scare a lot of learners because they think English has too many rules. But here's the truth. You don't need to master every tense to speak good English. You just need to understand a few core patterns and when to use them.
Exactly. Let's start with the most important and most used pair, simple present and present continuous. Once you understand this difference, your English will instantly sound more natural.
So here's the first big trick. Ask yourself one simple question. Is the action happening right now, or is it something that happens regularly?
If it's happening right now, at this exact moment, you use present continuous. For example, I am listening to this podcast. I am learning English. I am sitting at my desk.
But if it's something you do every day, usually, or as a habit, you use simple present. I listen to podcasts every day. I learn English after dinner. I work from home.
Notice something important here. The grammar changes because the time feeling changes. Present continuous feels temporary and active. Simple present feels permanent or routine.
Here's a very common beginner mistake. Many learners say, I am working in an office. But what they really mean is their job, not what they are doing right now.
Exactly. If you're talking about your job or profession, you should say, I work in an office. But if you're on a call right now and typing emails, then you say, I am working in the office right now.
Here's another powerful shortcut, time words. Time words almost tell you the tense automatically.
Words like now, right now, at the moment, currently usually mean present continuous. Words like every day, usually, often, always, on Mondays usually mean simple present.
Let's do a quick listening exercise. I'll say 2 sentences. Just listen and feel the difference. I drink coffee every morning. I am drinking coffee right now.
Both sentences are correct, but the meaning is different. One is a habit, one is happening now. When you understand this difference, you stop guessing grammar and start choosing correctly.
Now, let's talk about another tense beginners use a lot, the simple past.
Simple past is actually very friendly. You use it when the action is finished in the past. I watched a movie yesterday. I learned English basics last year. I met my friend last night.
The trick here is simple. If the time is finished yesterday, last week, last year, you use simple past. Don't overthink it.
Yes, beginners often worry about perfect grammar, but communication is more important. Even if you say, yesterday I watched movie, people still understand you. Grammar helps you sound better, not stop you from speaking.
That's a very important point. Grammar should support your confidence, not kill it.
Now here's a mindset trick. Instead of memorizing rules, connect tenses to real life. Think about your day. Right now, what are you doing? Every day, what do you usually do? Yesterday, what did you do?
If you practice like this, your brain starts choosing tenses automatically. That's how fluent speakers think they don't translate rules in their head.
Exactly. And one last tip for tenses. Don't try to learn all tenses at once. Start with simple present, present continuous, and simple past. These 3 cover most daily conversations.
Once you feel comfortable with them, the other tenses will feel much easier. Grammar is like building blocks. You build step by step.
So remember this. Grammar is not about being perfect. It's about being clear and confident. And these tense tricks will help you speak without freezing or doubting yourself.
Great explanation. With just these tense shortcuts, beginners can already sound much more natural in English. Now let's talk about something small but very powerful in English articles. Just 3 little words. A, an, and the. Beginners often ignore them, or they feel confused about when to use which one.
Yes, and the funny part is, even though articles are small, they make a huge difference in how natural your English sounds. When you use them correctly, people instantly feel that your English is smooth and confident.
So let's simplify this. First rule, and an mean one, but not specific. You're talking about one thing, but the listener doesn't know exactly which one yet.
For example, I bought a book. We don't know which book. It's just one book, any book.
Now the difference between a and an is not spelling, it's sound. Use before a consonant sound. A book, a car, a university.
And use an before a vowel sound. An apple, an hour, an idea. Notice we say an hour because the H is silent, so the sound starts with a vowel.
That's a really important trick. Always listen to the sound, not the letter.
Now let's talk about the. This one is used when both the speaker and listener know exactly which thing you're talking about.
For example, I saw a dog. Later you say, the dog was very friendly. Now it's specific. Both people know which dog.
Another example, close the door. Why? Because there is usually one door, or it's clear which door you mean.
Here's a powerful memory trick. First time a, an. second time or specific the.
Yes, that rule alone solves most article confusion.
Now beginners often ask, can I skip articles? Technically, people may still understand you, but your English will sound incomplete or unnatural.
For example, saying, I bought phone sounds strange, but I bought a phone sounds correct and natural.
Now let's talk about something important, when not to use articles.
Yes, very important. We usually don't use articles with general ideas, uncountable nouns, or plural nouns when speaking generally.
For example, I love music, not I love the music, unless you mean specific music.
Or, students need practice. You're talking about students in general, not specific students.
Countries, languages, and meals usually don't take articles either. I live in Nepal. I speak English. I eat breakfast at 8.
But there are exceptions, and that's okay. Don't try to learn every exception now. Focus on the core idea, general versus specific.
Let's do a quick speaking practice. Listen and repeat in your mind. I saw a movie yesterday. The movie was very interesting.
Good. Now another one. She has an idea. The idea can help everyone.
See how natural that sounds? Articles help connect sentences smoothly.
Here's a confidence tip. If you're not sure whether to use a or the, ask yourself, does the listener know exactly which one I mean?
If the answer is no, use a, an. If the answer is yes, use the.
Simple, right? Grammar doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs clear thinking.
And remember, mistakes are normal. Even advanced learners make article mistakes sometimes. What matters is that you keep speaking.
Exactly. Articles are like small tools. Use them daily and soon they become automatic.
All right, that was a deep but simple look at a, an, and the. These 3 words alone can seriously improve your English fluency.
Now let's talk about a part of grammar that confuses almost everyone at the beginning prepositions. Words like in, on, at may look simple, but learners often pause when using them.
Yes, and the reason is simple. Prepositions are not about memorizing rules. They're about visual thinking. Once you start imagining the situation, the correct preposition becomes much easier.
Let's start with the most common 3. In, on, and at. Think of in as something inside. I am in the room. The keys are in the bag.
Now think of on as something touching a surface. The phone is on the table. The picture is on the wall.
And at is usually for a specific point or location. I'm waiting at the bus stop. Meet me at the entrance.
A simple mental image helps here. Box in, surface on, point at.
Once you imagine it visually, prepositions stop feeling random.
Now let's move to another very common beginner problem, subject-verb agreement.
This one is actually easier than people think. In the present simple tense, if the subject is one person or thing, the verb usually gets s.
For example, he works hard. She likes coffee. It rains a lot here.
But if the subject is plural, we don't add slash, they work hard. We like coffee.
Here's a trick that really helps beginners. If your subject is he, she, or it, your verb usually ends with s.
Yes, and many learners think the s belongs to the subject, but it actually belongs to the verb.
Now let's talk about much versus many, another classic confusion.
This is where thinking clearly helps. Use many with things you can count. I have many books. There are many students here.
Use much with things you cannot count. I don't have much time. There isn't much water.
Here's a quick question to ask yourself. Can I count it one by one?
If yes, many. If no, much.
Another small tip. In daily spoken English, people often use a lot of instead of much or many. I have a lot of work. She has a lot of friends.
That's true, and it sounds very natural. Beginners can safely use a lot of in most situations.
Now let's quickly talk about some and any, because they're closely related.
Use some in positive sentences. I have some questions. She bought some fruits.
Use any in negative sentences and questions. I don't have any money. Do you have any ideas?
These small grammar choices really improve clarity and confidence.
The biggest mistake beginners make is trying to remember everything at once. Instead, focus on patterns.
Yes, patterns are easier than rules. Once you recognize patterns, your brain starts choosing correctly without thinking.
And remember, grammar improves with exposure and usage, not fear. Speak, make mistakes, learn, repeat.
Exactly. Prepositions, agreement, and countable rules may look difficult, but with practice, they become natural.
You're doing great just by listening and practicing. Small steps lead to big fluency.
Now, let's talk about something every English learner needs in daily conversation: asking questions and making negative sentences. These two areas cause a lot of confusion. But once you understand the pattern, they become very easy.
Yes, and the biggest mistake beginners make is copying sentence structure from their native language. English has a clear and simple pattern, and once you follow it, everything feels smoother.
Let's start with questions. Here's the golden rule: auxiliary verb plus subject plus base verb.
For example, do you like coffee? Does she work here? Did they finish the task?
Notice something important. The main verb stays in its base form. Many beginners say, "Does she works?" That's wrong.
Exactly. Because does already carries the tense, the verb stays simple. Does she work?
Now let's talk about negative sentences. The structure is also very easy. Subject plus auxiliary plus not plus base verb.
Examples. I do not understand. She does not like coffee. They did not come yesterday.
Here's a very important warning. No double negatives. I don't need nothing is incorrect.
The correct sentence is, I don't need anything. One negative is enough in English.
Now let's clear up some confusing word pairs that beginners often mix up.
First one. Then versus then. Then is about time. I ate dinner, then I slept.
Then is for comparison. She is taller than me. Two words, two different jobs.
Another common one, your versus your. Your shows ownership. Your phone is ringing. Your means you are. You're doing great.
These small details really polish your English.
Now let's talk about the future, because beginners often ask, should I use will or going to?
Here's the simple trick. Use will when you decide something at the moment of speaking. Oh, it's hot. I will open the window.
Use going to when the plan is already decided. I am going to start learning English seriously this month.
Both are correct, just different situations.
Now, let's take a moment to look at everything we covered today. We talked about tenses, articles, prepositions, agreement, questions, negatives, and future forms.
And the most important lesson is this: English grammar is not about memorizing rules, it's about understanding patterns.
Yes. When you focus on patterns, examples, and real-life usage, grammar becomes simple and natural.
Don't wait to be perfect before speaking. Speak first. Improve along the way. Every sentence you say is practice.
Mistakes are not failures, they are signs that you're learning. Every fluent speaker you admire once made the same mistakes.
If you practice just a little every day, these grammar tricks will slowly become automatic.
Thank you for spending your time with us today on Fluent Wave Podcast. We hope this episode helped you feel more confident about English grammar.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, share it with a friend, and keep practicing your English every day.
And remember, fluency is not a talent. It's a habit.
See you in the next episode.
Keep learning, keep speaking, and stay fluent.